All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Sterling Jones from the Sterling Jones Podcast, but today I am broadcasting live for the Event Pass Heroes. The Event Pass Heroes is your number one ticketing site and location if you want to have an event, if you want to do something with your organization, with your fraternity, with your sorority, anything you want to do, you should definitely be using Event Pass Hero. But today I do have a special guest, and this is the first time, so bear with us, but we're going to be talking about your experience, and I have a guest. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, and then we'll go ahead and jump into it.
Good evening, good morning, or wherever you're
What's
at. Good
all of that?
Jamel Aldridge here. I'm the president of Queen City Omega.
Well, good to meet you too, bro. Good to meet you too. You and I have had slight conversation before. I want to definitely thank the Event Pass Heroes for putting this together, because this is the first one. So you're the first interview segment that we've done. You get the
guinea pig.
Yeah, you get the guinea pig award, and you get the
guinea dog in this case. The guinea
dogs. Root to the bros, and you get the bragging rights of being the first one to make it happen. So I appreciate the time. I appreciate you being on here. But like I said, we're just gonna jump into it, and we're gonna talk about Event Pass here. So before we do that, though, tell them a little about yourself, your organization, our wonderful organization, the best one out of this whole interview segment, if I will say. But go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself and why you decided to join and all that good stuff.
So, of course, I'm Jamel. I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, the only frat.
Yes, sir.
As they say less. But here, and I'm a member of Pi Phi chapter as well. I'm spring 15th. So now, but I'm serving as the president of Queen City Omegas. So with that, we're out in the community. We're putting on events that help us raise funds for, there's any number of things that, we can talk about, whether it be our scholarship, our boys camp, mentoring, and things of that nature. So it affords us an opportunity to have resources to give back to the community ultimately.
100%.
So that's what we're here for. We have that stigma that, the bros, we part of it, we do so much more than that I don't think we get our just due for. So it's, in becoming the president of Queen City Omegas, it's one of those things that I drive home with myself and the executive team, that, we get back to what we really know for doing amongst the brothers, and that's in our activity in the community, being the black men held to the highest level of regard in what we do and giving back, because there's no time like now.
That's right. Definitely. I'm just going to ask you sort of brought it up, and you talked about some of the fundraising events that, that you do. When it comes to that, what are the essential ingredients, I would say, for creating a memorable experience when it comes to, attendees, make sure they're taken care of, how that goes. And then just putting together a good, boys camp you mentioned. You mentioned a couple of different things, but what's the essential ingredients you would say when putting together a good event?
Man, so it starts with marketing, getting out of it, getting a buzz for your clientele.
Right.
I mean, because if you know you got a sweet spot for certain things, then, stay in that sweet spot. That's your niche.
Right.
Be okay with it. Like, we have the longest running comedy show. We coming up on 28, 29 years. We'll celebrate that anniversary at our June 28th show.
Okay.
Well, we'll have a nice lineup for those who do come to attend, but it's understanding, trying to gauge and understand your clientele, your audience, and making sure you're giving them a good product when you actually are out doing that. Last year, we had our Sears and Shears.
Yeah.
We had Anthony Hamilton as the headliner.
Okay.
So we got a little outside of the box, because traditionally speaking, we had Kendrick Family Soul the year before that.
Gotcha.
So, but we were doing big names because there was a need for something in this area that hadn't, quite honestly, hadn't taken place in that format or in that form. So, what better group than, what better organization to get out in front and lead the way and be a trailblazer in doing such a thing than the Bros.
That's it.
And Omega Psi Phi.
That's it. Now,
Queen City Omegas.
And I'll say this, when it comes to planning an event, though, it's, everything ain't peaches and cream all the time. There's going to be, some good times and some bad times. So talk about some of the challenges, just to put them out there. What were some of the challenges, for that comedy event, for y'all to keep it going every single year? It's got to be, a lot of things that go into that. So what's some of the challenges you would say about putting events together?
I tell you, it's trying to minimize. So really, when you think about doing anything, the whole goal is for us to raise revenue.
Right.
So it's how do we maximize the profits and minimize the expenses,
the liabilities,
if you will. Right.
Yep.
But most definitely that. So, in essence, it's trying to find that formula. Like our comedy shows, we've been doing them so long, they're kind of cookie cutter, but still you got to find places where you give the clientele a different experience. And a lot of times that just comes in the form of the different types of comedians that you bring out front. But the work is keeping that buzz going, keeping the crowd engaged. And like for us, just basic customer service.
Got it.
Sometimes can get taken for granted, but it's the small things, making sure your clientele feels good. Because if they don't, they won't be your clientele much longer.
Right.
So a lot of times it's making sure, like as an executive team member, making sure we're going around, we're greeting our crowds, because it's all about the hospitality, because if you're not giving that, it'll be worse on the back end.
Gotcha.
So making sure that you just stand out in front of the customers and just trying to avoid those pitfalls, because when you don't have, as they say, butts in seats, that means you're not generating revenue.
That's it.
And then, that's the difference between you having a black line item versus a red line item if you don't have the butts in the seat.
Got it.
And we know the goal for everything we do is about, again, driving revenue so we can support those community events that we do. So, and it's just, I believe the meetings that we have leading up to those things to coordinate, see what we got. Like, make sure you got the brotherhood participation. So any organization, I would say, make sure you have your organization's buy-in.
Got it.
Because a lot of times that can be your biggest marketing tool.
Yep.
Because if they're not engaged, they're not energized, then it's going to be hard for your clientele to be engaged and energized.
That's it.
So it starts at home. So I would say make sure that you got the thumbs up and the push and the forward thought from the organization itself and its membership to make sure that you have their energy and their buy-in, because it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
If you don't have that,
100%. That's a definite key to success. You got to have everybody on board, and everybody's got to pull their part. And I think, to get to the meat and potatoes of this, I think that's why that's the interesting thing about Eventpasshero, because one of the functions of Eventpasshero is that the portion where we make sure that everybody is doing their part and is liable for their portion of that. So that brings me to my next point. It comes to Eventpasshero. What stood out and made you choose for the organization? Like, hey, let's go, choose this way to do our tickets this year, because I know a lot of people are familiar with Eventbrite and other ticketing services. What stood out to you about Eventpasshero and said, we want to go and choose this platform to promote the many events you talked about?
So just quite honestly, the customer service. Now, granted, we happen to have a relationship and know some of the figureheads within the company, but still the outreach, their willingness to help us to make sure, and I mean, even to the tune of where they've been on site at an event to help to make sure it's success. So when you have that buy-in where they're willing to basically get into the fight with you, get into the fray with you, I mean, that speaks volumes for itself.
Yeah.
I mean, we have posted, and we still do post on, some of the other platforms, but still we keep our ties in and we make sure that we continue to post our events in Eventpass just because of that customer outreach. I mean, a lot of what they're doing, like you said, I'm here because of the community activity. There's things that they're doing in the community. So it's one community organization helping another.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do. We got to help each other, and they jump into the fray with you when it comes to helping ensure your event is a success. If that means them coming on site, they're there.
Now, for the people who don't know about Eventpasshero, tell them a little bit about the process of, deciding, saying, hey, we're having an event, we want to go with you guys. What was the beginning, middle, and end of that process? Because I'm pretty sure you've probably experienced using, like I said, other ticketing platforms. But like you said, this one is right here with you. They're helping you market. They're making sure the tickets are continuing to be sold. But for someone who doesn't know anything about Eventpasshero, how does the process work, or how did it work in your case?
So in our case, we, like I said, we was fortunate to have an inline with Brother Craig Howard.
Gotcha.
And but I think for any organization, it's reaching out, making that initial contact is what makes
where you
that
start
buzz for. Even though we had the inline, so you got to make that initial contact. But then actually just get them to come in and demo the solution to you, because it is a solution. It's a ticket selling solution when it's all said and done.
I want to pause it right there. I don't mean to cut you off. Demoing the procedure. Explain that, because that's a big thing that, Craig and I talked about the demos and explaining how it goes. Talk about that demo process and how that went.
Yeah. So, like, of course, they pull us in on the call, all of the executive team at the time, but showing us how the platform works, the back end, how that works, on how we can go in and create and edit, and like I said, just walking us through things.
Gotcha.
I mean, there were times where I was on the phone with Craig as early as 8 a.m.
Yep.
And there were times I was on the phone with for events approaching midnight,
Right.
to ensure the event and what was put out there success. And so as a part of that demo, like I say, showing us the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts of the platform and so forth, or the breadth of the platform and what it actually can do. Because when we initially seen it, and then when we got the demo, it was like, okay, I went out and I looked at it and I seen it, but I didn't know it could do that. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you can do this targeted marketing. You can do these campaigns internally within your organization where you can do these like hero reports, which shows who's doing what. So it creates a sense of competition within your organization membership because everybody wants to be on top.
That's it.
Everybody, you want to hold that accountability report is what they call
Got it.
Just to be grammatically correct. They call it an accountability report that we would generate for our major events.
Got it.
So our brotherhood could see where you were relative to the Queen City activity and the events that we were doing. You can see what tickets you're driving to those major events.
Got it.
So it's things like that we were able to see in a demo. I was like, oh, well, you didn't know that just going in and looking at it.
Yeah. And I was talking to him about it, talking to Craig about it, and I played South Carolina State spring 16. And back then we were doing oil spill. And the oil spill, all brothers would get paper tickets and you have to, each brother be accountable for 15, 20 tickets. Now, all those brothers sold them, we don't know. If some brothers is giving them away to girls or giving away to their own boys, we didn't know because it wasn't an accountability report. So I was telling them this is new age in the way that is, a metric and it's a system to have that accountability. Everybody can check in and see what they're doing. You know what I mean? So I think that's definitely a big part of it.
And I guess to even add to how they get to that point of the accountability report, like every person has a different that they can send to their friend group, their network.
Yes.
And that when they use that, that's how you build up your sales, if you will, for your specific user ID. Because you giving them your link is what we called it. Send your link to your network. Yeah. And they click on your link, they purchase a ticket. That gives you credit as far as under the accountability report. So that's how you create them different tiers or you're showing that success of the individual membership they're doing relative to promoting your events.
Got you. And I'll say that we talked a lot about the accountability reports. What's one of the features of Eventpasshero that may have been overlooked or something that you didn't think was going to work as well and did work well, or something that you saw that, we can utilize that more of in the next time that you use the ticketing platform?
It's that accountability report.
This is that again.
Man, that created so much. It created so much buzz within the membership because now you get to see. There's a lot of, and I think this is consistent across organizations. You got a lot of people that that talk. Right? It's time for that action. Yeah. It's time for us to get to work.
That's it.
Because we're here for an organization we're supposed to be giving back.
Yep.
So it's time to get to work, and it's not asking you for your money.
Yeah.
But it's asking you to send a link out.
That's it.
So you go out. You're not supposed to go out and
door-to-door salesman. Yeah.
Because that's how some people was taking it initially.
Got you.
It's like, no, the goal is not you to go out and spend $1,000 of your money. Right. No, it's tapping into your network.
That's it.
And let them buy tickets and so forth. So for that accountability report, it shows. So what you do, you create competition, you set a minimum for each member. And you can see who's a willing participant and you can see who's not.
Who's doing what.
And so when you come and they're talking, sometimes you got to have action with that talk, right?
That's it.
And that accountability report gives you just that.
Just that action. Now, I'll mention this. Now, all of these things that we do are revenue building activities, and the cash flow at the end of the day is the most important because outside of the experience, we have to make sure that we, we're getting our just due back as far as building up enough money, whether it's for a fundraiser or an event. We want to make sure that at the end of the day, the payouts are going the way they need to go. Talk about the payout process and, receiving that within 2-3 days and that initiative. How was that on the back end of things once the event was over?
Man, it's seamless. You set up your information and it's there, so, when at one point, I know other platforms, their payout process took a little longer. I think they have since adjusted, the length in between payout, but something would make me believe that it has to do with other players in the game like Eventpass that made them shorten their turnaround time as well.
Yeah.
because Eventpass told us it was that 2-day turnaround. That's great.
Got it.
When you can recognize money in your account. So it's basically as you're selling tickets, the system processing it, it's in your account.
Gotcha.
And it's just that seamless. And so, I don't know how these, a specific organization may have things set up, but if it's the case you set up an event account, you can track specifically for that specific event, but that money's going in there. There's nothing that you're doing special other than just setting it up. It just happens. It's seamless in the background.
Got it.
So it's very painless, to say the least.
And you sort of answered my next question, because I was going to ask you to talk about the experience with the customer support team. And you mentioned, if you needed to call at 8 a.m., you're able to, you're not getting sent to a robot, or somebody you can't speak to. And of course, they do have, they're busy guys. You know what I mean? Eventpasshero, they're running events all across, but the availability to get to them if you needed them, how was that?
Oh man, it's been nothing but phenomenal.
Awesome.
Like I said, it's just I can give Craig a call. I want to talk from the back end. I talk to the other bruh relative to the back end stuff to make sure stuff like it's not like I'm waiting days or hours.
Yeah.
If I reach out, it's either the answer or I'm getting the call back.
Yeah.
And then if I send a text and it's something urgent, please believe they're responding urgent.
Gotcha.
That's been fairly easy. Like it's not the typical, if you will.
Yeah. It's something different. What were y'all using before? Like Eventbrite?
We use
Eventbrite.
Eventbrite.
Okay. Now looking ahead into the future, I know you got events lined up for 2025. What's a major event you're looking to do that's coming up? And even if you want to promo that event, but what's an event that's coming up that the people should know about, that they know you're using Eventpasshero, that's coming up, something they should put on their docket going into, at the top of March? So what's going on in the Queen City?
So for March, we have, back in CI, we used to have a breakfast jam. So
I miss the CIAA being here. I can't say that enough.
Yeah.
Can't say that enough.
Yes. Oh man. Hey, well, so I miss it and I don't, because as a working bruh who was not getting home until the sun was coming up, that's the part that I don't miss. But just the pure love that was going on, with us as a people for CIAA for Charlotte, it was just unimaginable. And it was a beautiful thing. But for us in March, and I bring that up because they have the HBCU, the Black College Invitational coming, the HBCU.
Yep.
So that's coming. So we're doing a breakfast jam. We're doing a return of the breakfast jam on March 21st.
What's the breakfast jam for the folks who don't know about it and haven't heard about it? What can they expect?
So the breakfast jam is one of those events that only Queen City Omegas was putting on in the city during CIAA, where we open the doors 10, 11 o'clock, and we have a catered breakfast.
Okay.
We have a catered breakfast as a part of your ticket purchase.
Okay.
Where everybody gets a ticket. Yeah. You come in, you got breakfast, you got a DJ, you got a bar. So you're getting breakfast and you party.
That's it.
And you're having a good time.
That's what's up. Now, if do you have any collaborative events? I was going to say, if someone wants to get or work with your mission, do you all do collaborative events, maybe with community groups or other, or is it, mostly we do our own events, but I know it's a lot of community involvements and things too.
Right. So we probably do more of our collaborations at this time. Like we do things with like there's Druid Hills, but that's like from the chapter perspective. But from like that's where more of our collaborations are coming in at. But from an event perspective, we're looking at doing more with whether it be the Delta, ladies of Delta Sigma Theta, or either Alpha Kappa Alpha, where we do a lot of partners. So we're looking to partner more with some of the local chapters here with some of the things that we do, because a lot of times that partnership, we all got the same direction that we're trying to move forward. And sometimes we get so caught in our lane that we forget that, hey, we're here to help each other. Right. So if we can partner, and we open up to partner outside of them. It's just that because we see more of them, we see more of those ladies at our events. So naturally speaking, our leadership is aligned to their leadership. So we end up talking and having conversations. So we're trying to find ways that we can. There's some things that we're looking at, like as simple as promoting each other events.
Just helping each other out, like you said.
Things like that. It's huge. It's very small, but it's huge on the back end when they see us supporting one another. And I don't think we put out enough of that, of our support of one another, events and things that we're doing in the community. we could do so much better, for one another across the board. That's across the D9 as a whole, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I want to ask this last question for someone who's looking into Eventpasshero, someone who's never used it. What's your lasting advice or a couple words to say why they should at least look into, if not going ahead and doing the whole thing, why should they look into Eventpasshero as their primary and premier ticketing platform for any event that they're having?
I would say simply put, the customer service. If you want, a platform that gives you access, it seems like you are a priority as a customer, as a client.
Got it.
And you can tell with, like I said, 8 a.m. if I'm on the phone with Craig, it could also be up to midnight I'm on the phone to ensure that my event is posted, is getting the visibility that it needs to get, and just making sure that it's a success. It means being on site.
Yeah.
You just don't see that everywhere.
Right.
That customer first approach is what I feel EventPass offers. So most definitely looking for a customer first approach and a platform to use, I think EventPasshero is the way to go.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate the time. I'm not going to hold you up too long. I think we covered everything. For someone who has never heard of EventPass, they got to hear you give a real life testimony about how it helped the organization, how customer service based it is, how seamless it is in the process. And like I said, I appreciate the time, because this is the first time doing this, and we want to continue this. And like you said, we're going to reach out to other organizations, the Deltas, the AKAs, and even people that aren't D9 affiliated. We want to bring everybody in and let them know what Eventpasshero has to offer when it comes to just being the new designation for ticketing platform. So any last words you want to share before you hop off, man? I know you got the brothers in the back room getting busy. I don't want to hold you up all night.
Oh, no, man. All good, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
100%.
I appreciate the reach out on Eventpasshero's behalf. This is good. That's a good thing they got going, man.
Yeah.
So I say keep it going. Anything I can help. If you need me to talk again,
Sure,
or get somebody else to talk, I'll get somebody else from the exec team to come and, sing the praises and shout you out as well. Just let me know what you need from our end.
sound like a bet, dog. Well, that's it for this first episode of this interview series from Eventpasshero. Brother Jamil, we appreciate you a whole bunch, man. And until next time, until you see us again, we're going to say, sayonara, man. We hope you have a good event breakfast jam. Make sure y'all tap in. Make sure you pop out to the breakfast jam with the brothers of the Queen City, like
21st.
March 21st. You got the date.
March 21st.
Where's it going to be? The Frat House?
March 28th. It'll be at the Frat House. And March 28th, we got the Womanhood Appreciation Month comedy show.
Okay.
So come out and support that as well.
Hey,
that'll be huge.
Any big names they need to know of before we got the lineup situated yet?
Yeah, so we got an all-female lineup. Actually, was just working on a post. I was just working on a post. We got Cookie Hole and Kiana Scott. That'll be out.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, big stuff in the works. We don't give them too much. They got to come and see. They got to come and see.
Right.
They got the sneak peek. If they see us, they got the sneak peek. That's it.
It'll be a good show.
Sounds good.
Show.
Well, Rude Dog, appreciate your time. Until next time, we'll catch you. Rude Dog. All right. And from Eventpasshero, we out. Catch you next time.